This is a sports catastrophe production. Hey there, hello there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another sports catastrophe birthday boy for this October 31st. There will not be a on this day today, unfortunately, because there wasn't anything interesting on Halloween Day. Well, you could count the Billy Cannon run in 1959, but I completely forgot about it. But anyway, let's talk about another college football thing. And speaking of the SEC, this man is the head football coach of Alabama as of right now, and as of 2007. So basically, I'm under his tool list in Bama. Bama has been no, he has an 87% winning percentage at Bama as of right now. But he wasn't always just the Alabama coach. I know Saban is called the greatest coach in college football history. But the fact of the matter is he did coach for LSU, Michigan State, and the University of Toledo. The University of Toledo, really? Yeah, but anyway, Saban led LSU to the national championship in 2003, well, National 4, and Alabama to BCS national championships in 09, 11, and 12, and college football playoff championships in 15, 17, and 20, winning 7 national titles as a head coach. He's the first coach in history to win a national championship with 2 top, Division I schools since the inception of the AP poll in 1936. And Saban, alongside Bear Bryant, are the only coaches to win an SEC title at 2 different schools, of course, Saban being LSU. People forget that Bear Bryant, even though he's an Alabama legend who died just a month after his last official college football game, actually coached at Kentucky. So anyway, Saban overall is 263 wins, 66 losses, and a tie. Not bad. So anyway, he actually married someone from West Virginia in 1971. Saban actually played defensive back for Kent State. And he and a roommate actually avoided being part of the Kent State shootings in May of 1970 when they decided to eat lunch before walking to the Raleigh area. So basically, they could have been killed in the Kent State massacre. Saban entered his master's degree in sports administration from Kent State in 75. He didn't think he would be a coach until Don James said he was good and called him a graduate assistant at Kent State. Nick would be an assistant coach in Division I at several schools. Syracuse for a season, West Virginia in 78 and 79, Ohio State for 80 and 81, Navy 82, and then Michigan State for 5 years. Kent State passed over Nick Saban for his vacant head coaching position after the 87 season and hired Dick Crum. But Nick actually became an assistant for the Houston Oilers in the NFL. And then Toledo decided to say, to heck with it, you could be a head coach. So they hired him in 1989. In his first season, Toledo was 9-2 and co-champ of the Mid-American Conference. They lost 2 games, but they were by narrow margins. They lost by 1 to Central Michigan, by 4 to Navy. In fact, when he was coaching at Toledo, he turned down an application from Urban Meyer, who was looking for any coaching job on Saban's staff. However, Nick Saban would resign as Toledo's head coach to become defensive coordinator of the Cleveland Browns under Bill Belichick and spent 4 seasons there. So that's shocking that Nick Saban was the defensive coordinator under Bill Belichick. Did not know that. Anyhow, Saban would then go back to college prior to the 95 season with Michigan State. Michigan State had some problems in them. But in his first 3 seasons, he got Michigan State to bowl games. They ended up being 6-5-1 in the first season, then 6-6 and 7-5. Basically, you need 6 wins to be bowl eligible. And shockingly, Nick Saban's Spartans upset number 1 Ohio State 28-24 at Ohio Stadium. However, despite this and a big win over Notre Dame, the Spartans were 6-6. Didn't get a bowl invitation because they had terrible last-minute losses as well. However, the 99 season would be great for the Spartans. They were 9-2, beating Notre Dame, Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State. Can you believe it? That is just amazing. Purdue and Wisconsin were the only 2 teams to beat MSU. However, following the final game against Penn State, Saban resigned to accept the head coaching position at LSU, shocking a lot of people. Saban's assistant head coach, Bobby Williams, would have to coach Michigan State in the Citrus Bowl, or it's called Citrus Bowl now, or otherwise known as the Capital One Bowl, the bowl before the Rose Bowl on ABC. As Michigan State would actually beat Florida, giving them a 10-2 mark. It was the most wins for a Spartan squad since the 65 squad, and the Spartans reached their highest ranking since 1966. Man, Saban, I can't believe it. However, LSU would win 8 games in his first season and won the Peach Bowl, but they got crushed by Auburn in Florida in the meantime. In the 2001 season, Saban got LSU to a 10-3 mark and a win in the Sugar Bowl. They beat Illinois in the Sugar Bowl and beat number 2 Tennessee in the SEC championship game. It was the first outright SEC title for LSU since 1986, and the first time the Tigers won the Sugar Bowl since 1968. The 2002 season opened with high expectations, but they lost to Virginia Tech, and LSU had a problem because Matt Muck, their quarterback, was hurt, and LSU lost 4 of their last 6 games, including a big loss to Texas in the Cotton Bowl and finished 8-5. However, the 2003 Hawkeye Tigers would do so much better. They beat Georgia 17-10, although they lost to Florida 19-7. LSU would not lose again in the regular season and won the SEC West at the expense of my Razorbacks. After winning the SEC West, LSU would beat Georgia for the SEC title and would rank number 2 in the BCS, which meant they would face Oklahoma in the Sugar Bowl for the national title. LSU Kachi. So they won, and they were 13-1 and a national championship for Saban. LSU finished the next season at 9-3. Unfortunately, they lost in that famous last-second play by Drew Tate, which helped Iowa beat LSU in the Capital One Bowl 30-25. That was one of my first college football memories after moving from my parents' farm to Kitchener. So, at the end of the 2004 season, Saban said, heck, nah, I want to try the NFL. So he did it with Miami. He accepted it. Miami shocked a lot of people. They were 3-7. Unfortunately, but they won 6 straight games, which was a shock. They beat the Pats in the final day of the season. Sadly, though, Miami would miss the playoffs for 9-7 mark. Miami was supposed to contend for a playoff spot. They were close. But Saban was 6-10 as a Miami Dolphins coach. Of course, by November 2006, Alabama decided to fire Mike Shula because Bama just sucked horribly. Saban was rumored to be the top of Alabama's wish list, but Saban refused to discuss the job while his season was underway in the NFL. He kept trying to deny the rumors. But Saban did meet with the Alabama coach thing. And after he met with the Dolphins owner on January 3rd, 2007, he became Alabama's 27th head coach. I'm not going to get into too much details about his power and all that. In his first season, Alabama actually sucked. They were 7-6. Well, they did win the Independence Bowl, but they shockingly lost to Louisiana Monroe on home turf in the crazy 2007 season that it was, the season of Appalachian State shocking Michigan in Michigan in the first week, and all the upsets, especially the 1 and 2 seeds. The number 2 seeds for 3 or 4 straight weeks kept losing. And a craziness. Bama was only 7-6, but that I believe that was the last season Bama would be not that far-fetched. But of course, I'm not going to tell you all the stuff about Saban because after all, he's had a great college football career. I mean, he's won 7 national championships as a head coach, 9 SEC titles, a MAC title in 1990, and 13 SEC West titles. Like he's an icon. Tomorrow's another day. So, yeah. Nick Saban is a devout Roman Catholic who actually attends Mass before games. So, yeah, Saban is of Croatian origin. Bill Belichick and Saban are actually good friends because of 2 successful Croats in the same division in the NFL. You must admit, you don't see that every day. Saban actually shares his last name with another famous coach, Lou Saban. They were kind of distant cousins, but I think they were second cousins. Saban and his wife have been married for 45 years. They have 2 kids, Nick Jr. and Kirsten. So anyway, but he has had a lot of coaching tree. Saban's coaching career encompasses the Bill Belichick coaching tree because he was the defensive coordinator when Belichick was coaching for Cleveland. A lot of great coaches were under him. Bobby Williams was the guy who replaced him at Michigan State. Mark D'Antonio worked under him at one time. Scott Linehan, Josh McDaniels for a while, Jimbo Fisher, Jason Garrett, Pat Schumer, Mike Mularkey, Jim McElwain, Dan Quinn, Major Applewhite, Mario Cristobal, Lane Kiffin, Freddie Kitchens, Joe Judge, Steve Sarkisian. Yeah. So he played 1 year for Toledo. He coached 1 year in Toledo, which did well. He did well, but they didn't get in a bowl game. Then 5 years for Michigan State. That they had all those awkward seasons. But then in '99, he turned Michigan State around. Unfortunately, though, he resigned at the end of the regular season, missing out on Michigan State's winning of the Citrus Bowl and going number 9 overall. LSU, he had 5 very decent seasons, a national title in 2003, and 2 other spots. A top 10 spot in 2001, being number 8. Alabama. So here we go. 2007, because of some improperties and all of that, some sanctions. He's officially 2-6 in that year. Well, they were officially 7-6, but whatever. In 2008, they were 12-2. They ended 12-2 to be 6. 2009, 14-0 national champions. 2010 season, they were number 11 after being 10-3. 2011 and 2012, back-to-back national titles. 2013 season, 11-2 at the end, ranked number 8. 2014, 12-2, ranked number 4. 2015, national champions. 2016, 14-1. They lost the final game to Clemson, being number 2. 2017, they won the national championship back from Clemson. 2018, they lost to Clemson again for the title. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah. No, 2017, they beat Georgia. That's right. That famous last play by Tua. And then Alabama lost in 2018 to Clemson. 2019, they were 11-2, but they only were 8th. They didn't get to the playoff. And 2020, national champions. So, guy's freaking amazing and all that. He had 2 okay seasons in the NFL, but they don't talk about that. They just talk about him leaving for Alabama and quitting. Fair enough. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.